Hello students, this is Miss Pooja Arun Mhatre, lecturer in Electronics and Telecommunication Department in Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. Today's topic is Fundamentals of Data Communication and Network Topology Part 2. The learning course outcomes are components of data communication, protocol standards, standard organization, basic block diagram of data communication. First, we will see the components of data communication. The data communication is the process of the information exchange. That means we need a many hardware and software devices and links to transfer a data. And this communication facility is used for the transferring and exchanging the data. So in case of sending a receiver receive a message or a data from one place to another place, that time we need a number of devices and number of links. So the components of data communications are source, transmitter, transmission medium, receiver and destination. Source generates a data which is to be transmitted. Which example of source indicate the telephone terminal, personal computers, mainframe and so on. Second component is a transmitter. The transmitter is also known as a sender, and it is a device that originates the information transfer data from the source and transmitted in the same form which is generated by the source. Transmitter converts and encodes the data as to produce a electromagnetic signals. So modems is used to convert the incoming data stream into analog signal that can be handled by the telephone network. Third one is a transmission system. It is a single transmission line or a network connecting source and the destination. So examples includes the cabling, microwave, fiber optic, radio waves and so on. Fourth one is a receiver. The receiver, also known as the sink, that receives the information transfer. Receivers can include the telephones, printers, terminals, host computers and video monitors. The function of receiver is to accept the information from transmission line or a network and converting it into the digital data in form of stream so that the destination computer can handle the data. And the last component is a destination. So destination is a device that, like a computer, that receives a data. Next topic is a protocol. So protocol is a set of rules for the communication. It indicates what is to be communicated, want to be communicated and how to be communicated. So in networking, without protocol, communication cannot be occur. So sender and receiver communication must agree as a set of rules before they communicate both the each other. So protocol defines the data sequencing rules, it defines the data formatting rules, it defines the flow control of information, it defines the error control rules, it defines the precedence and order of the transmission, also connection establishment, termination rules and data security and privacy rules. So the definition of the protocol is a set of rules that governs the communication between the computers on a network, or it can be a formal set of rules for the convention and the data structure that governs how computer and other network devices exchange the information over a network. Here are the three elements of the protocol: syntax, semantics and timing. Syntax is just what is to be communicated. It refers the structure or the format of data, means order in which data is presented. Next is semantics. How is to be communicated? Refers to the it refers the meaning of each section of bits and how a particular pattern interpreted and what action to be taken to that. This semantics could be defined if the last two bits of the receiver's address field contain a 00. It means the sender and receiver are on the same network. Third one is the timing. It refers the agreement between the sender and receiver about the rates and duration for the communication. Next topic is a standard. Standard data communication standards are defined as a guidelines to product manufacturers and vendors to ensure the national and international interconnectivity. The standards are necessary in our daily life. Every timing that we use in our daily life has to be some communication features like some standards. So in data communication, it is essential for the creating and maintaining the data and telecommunication technology and the process. So there are the two categories, de facto and de jure. De facto. This category includes the standard that have not been approved formally by some authority but have been accepted as a standard because of their widespread use. The meaning of de facto, that is a by fact or by convention. So these standards are established by the manufacturers and adopted as a standard due to their widespread use, but they are not approved by any standard organization. And it is divided into two types, proprietary standard and non-proprietary standard. Proprietary standard is invented and owned by an organization who first uses them and gain popularity. So it is closed because of the close of the communication with devices and system of each of other vendors. Second one is a non-proprietary standard. It is developed by an organization or a group which become popular and vendors start supporting them. It is open because anybody get access to all other following those standards. Next one is a de jure. It is formally accepted, declared as a legal standard by recognized standardization authorities. It is actually led by the government appointed agency. So the meaning of the word de jure is a by law or by regulation. So the de jure standards are standards which have been backing of a law or which have been approved by the standard organization. Standard organizations are categorized into three categories: standard creation committee, forums and regulatory agencies. Standard creation committees are International Standard Organization ISO, International Telecommunication Union Telecommunication Sector ITUT, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering IEEE, American National Standard Institute ANSI, Electronics Industry Association EIA, Telecommunication Industry Association TIA, Internet Architecture Board IAB, Internet Engineering Task Force IETF, Internet Research Task Force IRTF. First is the International Standard Organization ISO. ISO is an international organization for standardizing on a wide range of subjects. It is comprised mainly of the members from the standard committee of various governments throughout the world. It is even responsible for the developing models which provides high level of system compatibility, quality enhancement, improve productivity and reduce the cost. The ISO is also responsible for the endorsing and the coordinating the work of other standard organizations. Second one is the International Telecommunication Union, Telecommunication Sector, ITUT. So ITUT is one of the four permanent parts of the International Telecommunication Union based in Geneva, Switzerland. It has developed the three specifications: V series, X series and the data transmission. So V series for the modem interfacing, data transmission over the telephone lines, X series for data transmission over public lines, email directory services, and the I and Q series are the integrated service international network ISDN. It is an extension broadband ISDN. And ITU is a membership consists of the government authority and responsibility from many countries, and it is present a standard organization for the United Nations. Next one is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering IEEE. It is an international professional organization founded in the United States, and it is comprised by the electronics, computer and communication engineers. It is currently the world's largest professional society with over the 2 lakhs of members. It develops a communication information processing a standard with the underlying goals of the advertising theory, creativity and product quality in any field related to the electrical engineering. Next is the American National Standard Institute (ANSI). So ANSI is the official standard agency for the United States. It is a US voting representative for the ISO. So ANSI is a completely private non-profit organization comprised of equipment manufacturers and users of the data processing equipment and services. So ANSI membership comprise of people from professional societies, industry association, governmental and regulatory bodies and consumer goods. Next one is the Electronics Industry Association EIA. EIA is a non-profit US trade association that establishes and recommends the industrial standard. So EIA activities include the standard development, increasing public awareness and lobbying, and it is responsible for the developing the RS, that is recommended standard series of the standard for the data and communication. Next one is the Telecommunication Industry Association TIA. It is leading the trade association in communication and information technology industry. It facilitates the business development opportunities throughout the market development. So trade promotion, trade shows and standard development, etc. The represents manufacturers of communication and the information technology produce and also facilitate the convenience of a new communication network. Next one is the Internet Architecture Board. The IAB, it is earlier as the Internet Activities Board. It is a committee created as a ARPA, that is Advanced Research Project Agency, so as to analyze the activities of ARPANET, whose purpose is to accelerate an advancement of technology useful for the US military. And the IAB Technical Advisory Group of the Internet Society, and its responsibilities are: first one is the overseas of the architecture protocol and producers used to by the internet. Second one is the manages the processes used to create an international internet standard, and also serves an appeal board for the complaints regarding improper execution of standard process. Third one is the responsible for the administration of the various internet assigned members. Fourth one is the acts as a representative for the internet society. Internet is a liaison relationship with the other organization. And the last one is the acts as a source of the advice and the guidelines to the board of trustees and officers of the internet society concerning the various aspects of the internet and its technologies. Next one is the Internet Engineering Task Force, IETF. IETF is a large international community of the network designers, operators, vendors, researchers concerned with evaluation of the internet architecture and the smooth operation of internet. And the next one is the Internet Research Task Force, IRTF. IRTF promotes the research of the importance to the evaluation of the future internet by creating the focus and long-term and small research groups. So working on topics related to the internet protocol, application architecture and technology. Second one is the forums. So standard committees are notorious for the slow pace of the development and the decision making. Consequently, user groups, universities, student industry representation and the experts come all together and set up a forums to address the various issues and concerns of the data communication technology. The specialization helps them to achieve a great amount of throughput with contribution from variety of forum members. The Internet Society ISOC, the Internet Engineering Task Force, Frame Relay Forum and ATM Forum have interest in the specialized technologies such as frame relay and the ATM. The ISOC and the IETF are concerned with the development of the internet related standards and protocols. The last one is organization is regulating agencies. The government appoint agencies such as the Federal Communication Commission (FCC) of the US are always involved in regulating standards. So these signals agencies helps to protect the internet of general public in areas such as radio, television and wire-rates communication. For instance, every portion of the communication technology must be approved by the FCC before it can be sold in a market. So FCC periodically receives the rates charged by the service and provides the technical specification of the communication hardware and divides and allocates the radio frequency, etc. Next topic is the basic block diagram of data communication. Here the figure shows the basic block diagram of data communication. The functions of basic block diagrams and the working is the information. First one is the information source. The communication system have been developed for the communicating useful information from one place to another. The information can be in the form of sound signal like speech or music, or it can be a form of pictures. Second one is the transmitter. The function of transmitter block is to convert the electrical equivalent information to the suitable form. It increases the power level of signal. The power level should be increased in order to cover a large range. The transmitter consists of the electronic circuits such as amplifier, mixer, oscillator and power amplifier. Third one is the communication channel or the medium. The communication channel is a medium used for the transmission of the electronic signals from one place to another. The communication medium can be conducting wires, cables, optical fibers or a free space. So depending upon the time of communication medium, two types of communication system will be exist: wire communication and wireless communication. Next one is the noise. Noise is the unwanted electrical signals which gets added to the transmitted signal when it is traveling towards the receiver. So due to the noise, quality of the transmitted information will degrade. So one added noise cannot be separated out from the information. Hence the noise is a big problem in a communication system. Next one is the receiver. The reception is exactly the opposite process of the transmission. The received signal is amplified and demodulated over a converted in a suitable form. The receiver consists of an electronic circuit like a mixer, oscillator, detector and amplifier. And the sixth one is the information destination. It consists of electrical signal at the output of the receiver back of the original form, that is sound and TV picture. The typical example of the output transducer are loudspeakers, pictures, tubes and etc. Thank you.